This was me 2 years ago. And yes, before I started making YouTube videos, I actually used to be a musician, and I was actually not bad. Kind of popular. I had over 11 million streams. So why did I quit making music? Actually, that's not true. I haven't quit making music. Maybe I'll pick it back up because I have 3 awesome songs ready to go. But it became way too hard to continue.
Wait!
My name's Arneeb. I make videos about pop culture, and today I'm going to explore why it's so hard to break into the music industry using my own experiences. Now, some of you, some loyal fans, may have known me as Baba Nizza, but I changed my name back to my original name, even on my music profile, and even since I've been releasing stuff, it hasn't been that great. So I took a really long break from music because I just couldn't make it or break it after doing it for 7-8 years. So I'm going to explore exactly why it's so hard to break into music, and it's getting even harder. The first reason why it's so hard to make it in music is that it takes a lot of money to write a song and release an album. There are recording costs, mixing and mastering costs, release costs, compiling costs, distribution costs. All of those things cost money, not to mention the time that you're spending to actually write the song, the lyrics, and sing it and make it sound awesome. So I made R&B music. Sometimes I like to rap, and the most expensive thing that I used to spend my money on was studio time, which is recording and mixing and mastering. Those costs alone could easily rack you up, especially in the States or Canada, $500, $600 if you're going for something cost effective. And that's per song. It was a while ago since I last did that, so it's probably more expensive now. Now, you can cut a lot of those costs by buying your own gear, but then you don't get the sound and the quality of a professional studio that a song needs for it to stand out. A lot of artists will argue that that's not really the case, like you can get away with having just decent gear because right now people don't care about the quality of the sound. But if you want to get attention from an actual label, they will look at the quality of your sound to see if you're good, talented, and if you're recording well. Now, let's look into also the mixing and mastering. Mixing and mastering, you can't do that alone. Yes, you can, but if you don't have the right experience to actually make the sound good, it's not going to do well. So what is mixing? What is mastering? Mixing is when you take a song, all of the little elements of the song, like the instruments, the vocals, the little sound effects, you take all those individual layers of music and then you blend it to make it sound like one big piece. Mastering comes after mixing, where the whole track in its entirety is blended to make one unique sound that sounds the same across every single platform it's distributed in. That means YouTube, that means TikTok, that means Apple Music, Spotify, whatever. All those costs, you need a professional engineer, a professional sound engineer who could really do that well for you. And that's where the magic is made in the music. You might sound great, but if somebody isn't there to cut and chop the vocals, make it sound all right, pitch correct, all that good stuff, then it's not going to sound like a professional track. So you need to do mixing and mastering to really make the sound shine. That costs money. That's like, if you're lucky, $300, $400 for a good audio engineer to do that for you. So overall, you're looking at $600, maybe $700 per song if you do it outside. You could probably buy your own gear for $300 and record all your songs, but per song, you still need to get a mixing and mastering engineer to edit all that music for you. If you want a 10-song album, you do the math. On the cheap level, if you spend $300 on your gear, which is all the recording equipment at your home, you take that and per song, you get somebody to mix and master it for, let's say, $500 a song and record 10 songs. That's $5,300 for one album or for one body of work. So just making the music is expensive. So there's friction right there. If you don't have the money, you won't make something that's worth putting out into the world. So the first reason is music is expensive. Recording it is expensive. Mixing and mastering it is also expensive. And honestly, it's a lot of work. Number 2, there is too much competition. According to Spotify, there are 60,000 songs uploaded daily. 90% of those, if not more, don't even see 1,000 streams. Think about that for a minute. 60,000 songs every single day. That means in a month, what is 60,000 times 30? 1.8 million? Yeah, 1.8 million songs uploaded every single month. That is insane. The sheer volume of music that's uploaded every single day just makes it statistically hard to stand out. There are so many people releasing so many songs, and you can't cut through the noise unless you have something spectacular or unless you have something that goes viral. So how do you stand out from this much competition? The answer is marketing, and marketing is expensive. Every song that you see that goes viral, that gets extremely popular, has a marketing engine behind it promoting it. What does that include? You don't think Lil Nas X went viral just because he had a nice song, right? No, that virality is manufactured. How? You're spending money on PR. You're spending money paying influencers to make videos for you. You're spending money on getting your song on certain playlists that increase it algorithmically for you. A lot of people spend money on bots just to artificially inflate their streams. So there is a lot that goes into promoting a song. Oh, and don't forget, radio, right? People want radio play, you got to plug and play for that. There is a lot of power behind a viral song. There's a lot of money spent behind a viral song. According to most industry insiders that I've spoken to make a song go viral, a major label spends about $250,000 breaking that song. To break a new artist, it takes about $300,000, $400,000. All that money is being spent on PR, media, publicity, TikTok influencers, Instagram influencers, radio campaigns, playlist campaigns, and so much more. There's so much marketing that goes in to manufacture a hit. And honestly, a lot of people have the money to do that. That's the PR aspect. What about filming a music video? You have to have some content to promote, right? A music video in LA costs about $10,000 to do well. You could get something done for like $3,000, $4,000, but it might not be of good quality. You might not have the right models. You might not have the right actors. You might not have the good color grading and the good editing. So if you spend $10,000, you'll get a good piece of content that you can chop up into several shorts and then promote it through your massive marketing PR engine. But where do you get that money? A lot of independent artists, when they started, they have no money. They just have the money to record the song, they upload it, and they hope it's going to become relevant or hope it catches fire. And that is not how music marketing works. You need to have money behind that music to really pummel into the industry and cut through that noise and carve out a niche for yourself. Now, if you don't want to manufacture a massive hit alone, what you can do is get another popular artist on your song. Guess what? That's also expensive. That's quite expensive because a lot of big artists, for example, charge tens of thousands of dollars just to write one verse and have his name attached to your song. For example, say you want to get Drake. I think Drake drops in his song that he charges $500K for like a verse or for like a feature. Anybody else who's anybody or tied to a label, they're going to charge you at least $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 to get their name on your track. You could go for smaller artists, but I've reached out to smaller artists with small levels of following on Instagram, but at least 200,000, 300,000 streams on their Spotify, and they charge $2,000, $3,000. So getting on a popular artist bandwagon and piggybacking off of his fan base is also expensive. On top of all the marketing you probably need to do for your song. I think we're on step 4 now. Yeah, I think we're on step 4. So you've recorded this song, you've made a music video for it, you've put in money into PR, playlists, influencer campaigns, you've got a great artist on that song, and you're putting money into making a noise. And yet, virality isn't guaranteed. So, number 4, after all that effort, why is it so hard to break out in music? Because virality isn't guaranteed. I'll give you an example. I did a TikTok influencer campaign and I spent $3,500 on a song called Miss Maverick. I thought it was a great song. I loved that song. It did decent numbers when it came out, but I thought it had the potential to become a 10 million stream, 50 million stream song. I tried an influencer campaign for $3,500. Guess what? Nothing happened. A few 100,000 views. That's it. Not enough to go viral, not enough for people to care. And it was extremely difficult to break out on that budget. Even if you know the music is good, the virality depends on the culture at that time and what people are consuming at that time. And if it doesn't hit, it doesn't hit. So what are you going to do? That virality isn't guaranteed. It's extremely difficult to break out. Number 5, even after all of that, if you get a viral hit, the amount of money you make back is peanuts. For example, on Spotify, if you get 1 million streams, the amount of payout that you're probably going to get for a song that hits 1 million streams is about $3,000. If you've spent $700 recording the song, if you spent way more than $3,000 marketing the song, are you breaking even after you hit 1 million streams? No, absolutely not. So how do musicians make a living? They have to supplement that with touring. They have to do live shows. They have to do all of that to build up organic fan base. And then you kind of have to go through the grind and then see how much of that fan base you can monetize through a major label deal or an independent label deal. Usually what that means is an independent label deal will give you money up front to record your music and then release that music, and then they'll be the PR engine that gives you all of that. They'll recoup all of their costs, and then you will get your money. Doesn't sound like a great deal, right? Unfortunately, that's what most artists are hunting for, and that's just the industry at large. You can become big independently, but you need to still spend a lot of money cutting through that noise and making sure your music is good and has a strong fan base before a major label will even approach you. So, even after all that effort, the amount you make is not a lot. Now, there is another way to make money on your music. That's through publishing and licensing. What that means is that you might have a great song that could get on a commercial, a movie, a TV show, or a game. And that way, whenever that song gets played on those mediums, you get paid a small percentage return. You might even get some money up front for them to license that song in the first place. Those can tend to pay well, but you're fighting in a sea of competition. And usually the guys who cut those deals for you, they gatekeep the hell out of that industry, right? So music publishers, they are actively looking for sync type of music that's easily syncable. Think songs like Imagine Dragons, like you see on ads a lot. Like that kind of music tends to do well in the sync industry, and you can get good recurring revenue from that. And there are artists who just focus on sync, but you still need to create those relationships to get into the right studios and the right publishers. And it's very much solicitation to make that happen. So that sync world is very gatekept. The music that they're looking for is very specific, and it's not easy because it's such a relationship-based industry. So I got to 11 million streams. And I can say that it's just not sustainable. Unless you have a supermassive viral hit that allows you to get a major label deal and a lot of sync licensing deals, you're not going to be successful in the music industry because it's not sustainable to just tour and be a touring artist. First of all, it's expensive to book those shows. You need a manager to help you do that. And then on top of that, recording all that music, performing live, and then spending your own money to travel to all these places, that's hard. And you're probably going to be in the red for a really long time. So if you choose music as a career, do so with a lot of caution and make sure you have an abundance of cash that you're willing to spend on growing your music career. If you like this content, like, subscribe, share, and it takes me a lot of time to record these videos for you, so please do support by following this channel, keeping up to date, and sharing this with your friends. Arneeb out.
Wait!